Go back to Dexter.
OSP. OSP.
Give yourself a tick. There's a difference between OSP, OSP, and ASP. All right? 9. Haley. Give yourself a tick. And finally, Prudence. Did anyone get anything different? She said AMP, A-M-P. Yes, Kibble. Okay, give yourself a tick. All right, let's read these words together, boys and girls. First word. Ost. 2. Ost. 3. Est. 4. Eft. 5. Ift. 6. Ist. 7. Is. 8. Os. 9. Est. 10. N. Who got all 10 correct? Give yourselves 5 ticks. That's good. Who got 9 correct? Okay, give yourselves 4 ticks. Who got 8? It seems like we have to work on this. Okay. Yeah, change the E to an A. Ed and ab. There's difficulty there. Alright. I think we'll keep working on this. Take out your homework, please. Sherry, do you mind erasing the board, please? Let's take care of this. Boys and girls, what exactly... We started off classifying rubbish, right? Then we started classifying Hong Kong people. For homework, what were we classifying? Animals, but special kinds of animals. Aaron.
Classifying mammals.
Alright, so we were classifying mammals. And what we did was, we took the texts, then we drew the tables. And then we put the information in the tables for homework back in those texts. So we're just going to read them now. Derek, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start off with you then. I'm going to read the first paragraph, then we get going. Alright, we read this last time. Now we're just including the animals' names. If there is a problem, just stop us, and we can talk about it. Mammals are animals with body hair, have 3 middle ear bones, and nourish their young with milk that females produce. There are about 5,000 species of living mammals. They are divided into 3 subclasses: monotremes, marsupials, and placental mammals. Derek.
Monotremes
Good.
lay eggs. After the babies hatch,
Yep.
the mothers nourish
Good.
their young with milk. Example of
Just one?
Examples of monotremes
Yeah.
are finny ants, insects, shiny ants, insects, duck-billed
Platted. Platted. Okay, special word. Platted. Puss. Yes? Finish? Any problems? Okay, good. Bonnie. Marsu. Good. 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 please.
Koala and kangaroo belong to this group.
Koala and the kangaroo. Yes? Okay. Yeah, is that it? Okay. Finally, Bello, give me
Placental mammals are mammals whose young are born more advanced
Good.
than the young of the more nurturing
Good.
and marsupials.
Good.
Before birth, the young are nourished
Yeah.
through a
Plop.
hamster.
Okay.
After birth, the young feed on their mother's milk. Animals such as tiger and giant panda are all placental mammals.
Okay, so we have tigers and cats, people, giant pandas. We are all placental mammals. Any questions? All right. So what we're going to do today, boys and girls, we're still going to work on classifying. And we're going to take an even more sophisticated, complex text, and we're going to look for the groups, we're going to look for the examples, and then we're going to put them onto a table. Alright, but we're going to do this together. Now, we're going to talk about text tiles. Right? Boys and girls, does anyone have a vague idea as to what text tiles are? Anyone? No? Text tiles are basically a fancy word. It is a fancy word for clothing. Alright? So we're going to be talking about clothing today. We're just applying these classifying skills on different subject areas. We're classifying rubbish, classifying Hong Kong people, classifying mammals, now we classify clothing, textiles, right? So, let's turn to 1 page, 2 page, 3. The fourth page, the fourth A4 page, all right? The first skill focus should be reading for main ideas and supporting details. That's what we're looking for today. So, you can read this yourself. We're looking again at the text. We're looking for groups. We're looking for examples. We're looking at how they put these groups, how they put these examples in sentences, in texts. All right. So we're going to take a very, what would it be? A very inductive approach today. So we're going to be talking about textiles, clothing. All right. Let's turn the page. So we're going to be starting with point number 2. The importance of the first paragraph and the final paragraph. Boys and girls, in an introduction, just in general, any kind of text type, in an introduction, what types of information do we have? What is presented in an introduction? Whether it's an introduction to your story or an introduction in your pen pal letter, what exactly do you put in there? What is the purpose of an introduction? No need to be shy, just be bold. I know there's a camera right on top of us. Miss Tang's here. What kind of information do you include in an introduction? What is the purpose of an introduction? Eric?
It's used to let others know what you're talking about.
So how do you let others know what you're talking about? What kinds of questions do you answer? Like, how do I actually let you know that I'm talking about a pen pal letter? I'm talking about my short story. Or I'm talking about an article. Yes, Tim? Give yourself a ticker.
The life of the animals.
Okay. But let's just think about things in general. Any kind of text. What is the purpose of an introduction? I mean, if you're talking about mammals, then you can talk about the lives of these mammals. That's a good idea. But what about any kind of text, like these text titles that we're talking about? Oh, nice. Okay. Well, what I wanted you guys to do is to come up with this on your own, but thankfully we have model answers right here. So, on page 2, in that box, that first rectangle that you see, we're talking about the first paragraph, the introduction, right? You can read this. And then the final paragraph, the conclusion, well, obviously you're summarizing what you've just been talking about. So, we're going to read an introductory paragraph about text titles. We're also going to read a summary about what was just spoken about text titles. And we're going to answer these 5 questions. We're going to do it together as a class because this is not easy. When Mr. Wu was observing the 1W students, they thought this was pretty tricky. I think this is very, very difficult. Okay? So we're going to work on this together. We're going to read this aloud, then we're going to go through these questions. While we're reading, if you discover the answers to these questions, highlight them. So you need a pen or you need a highlighter. And when you find the answers to these questions, just highlight them. Highlight the word or highlight the phrase. Okay? There's no need to highlight everything. We'll read this aloud together. Lots of awesome words for you to learn. All right. So, 1. A text title is a kind of fabric or cloth that is generally woven. Paris. Good. Set. Continue. 5. Good. 6. Okay. Let's read the conclusion now. Phoebe. That. You can do it. Good. Ray. Good. 9. Good. 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 So there is a lot of information in these 2 paragraphs, a lot of new words, a lot of words that, are difficult to say, no less difficult to spell. But we're going to go through this, we're going to see how we answer these 5 questions. So, 1. And if you can help us out, just raise your hand. What are classified? Just raise your hand. We'll go for an answer first, and then we'll go for an explanation as to what exactly are you looking for in the text to answer this. So what are we classifying here? Eric. Text. Remember, you see the match key. Text. Type. Good. So we are classifying text tiles. But wait, for question 1, what are classified? You see that in these paragraphs, there is no classified. There is no sentence that says textiles are classified. So what word gives you a clue as to what is being classified? We're looking for maybe like a synonym or some contextual clue. Yes? Stephanie? Divided into. Good. Give yourself a tip. So, when we're looking at what are classified, and yet there's no classified in the text, we're looking for something similar. What is similar to being classified? Divided into. All right, let's move on. 2. Same thing. How are they classified? What is the method of classification? Eric?
You classify them according to the materials which they are made.
Okay, so they're being divided according to the materials from which, relative pronoun, they are made. Now, what is the key word in the answer? Again, there's no word classified, but you're looking for how, right? What is the method? So when you're talking about how, when you're talking about method, what word are you looking for then? Natalie?
According.
Good. So you got how, you've got method, you've got according. You see these words, you see a relationship between them. Question 1, you see, you see classified. You see what? You see divided into. Synonyms, contextual clues, relationships. By the way, number 2. Textiles may be divided into several groups according to the materials from which they are made. Split apart that sentence, boys and girls. There's a relative pronoun, which. We've talked about this once, only once. But how do you split apart this sentence? That's one sentence. How do you split apart this sentence here? What are the 2 sentences? Now be bold. Eric, you're going to be a superstar today. Give us the 2 sentences. Textiles may be divided into several groups according to the materials from which they are made.
Textiles may be divided into several groups according to the materials.
Good. Give me the second sentence.
They are made from the materials.
Good. Give yourself a second. So I'm just going to illustrate a point that we've been talking about. This might be helpful. That in order to switch this sentence apart, break this sentence apart, textiles from which they are made. You see the relative pronoun here. Where does this belong? In the first sentence or the last sentence? First clause or second clause? Second clause. Just like this, remember? So, the first sentence, textiles may be divided into several groups according to the materials. They're made from the materials. Right? That's something that might be useful. This is the second time we've talked about this. So I see Francesca writing that down. This is good. Let's continue. 3. How many groups and subgroups are there? All right, let's just get an answer first, and then we'll look for the answer. Yes? Stephanie?
Natural fibers, plants, and animals, sources.
Okay. So say it again, loud voice. How many subgroups are there?
There are 2 groups.
Okay.
3.
3 groups? Okay, sure. Yes?
Yes, 3 groups.
Okay, what are the 3 groups then?
Natural fibers, plants, animals, sources.
How many things are you saying? I'm a little confused. Is it natural fibers and plant and animal sources? Are those 2 groups? Kibble.
Made from natural fibers, made from plant sources, made from animal sources.
Okay, so let's do that again. Give me number one. What's the first? So what's the first group? Kibble. First group. Textiles made from natural fibers. Okay. What's the second group then? That's the second group. Okay. Is there a third group? Okay. Give yourself a tip. So Stephanie and Kibble think that, boys and girls, even you, Vanessa, I know you're zoned out, but this is very, very important. We have to determine how many groups there are. All right, let's just take a look at the first paragraph, the introduction. Now, those two students over there think there are three groups. Natural fibers, then plant sources, then animal sources. Now, Aaron disagrees. What do you think?
The first group is textiles made from natural fibers. The second group is textiles made from man-made fibers. And the third group is synthetics.
Okay, let's talk about this, because there are a lot of different words here. Let's just put some groups on the board. Let's just put some things up there. Because honestly, this is where the 1W kids just got confused. And I see it emerging here as well. Alright, so we got one group. We got some groups here. Let's just get some names out there. Let's just put some names up on the board. So what kinds of names do you see? What kinds of group names do you see? Yes, Stephanie.
Natural fibers.
Okay, so you see natural fibers. What else do you see? Give yourself a tip, Arnold. Plants and animal sources. Two. Oh, plant sources and animal sources. This might be a new development. What else? Kibble. Give yourself a tip. So he's raising an issue that textiles and clothing aren't necessarily the same thing. They are not. The first paragraph uses the word textiles. The conclusion uses the word clothes. And that's something that must be considered. Are they exactly the same thing? Alright, that's a very clever observation. Let's just consider textiles and clothes to be the exact same thing. Alright? So what other groups do we have then? Stephanie? Man-made fibers. What else do we have? Anything else? Arnold? Synthetics. Boys and girls, what are synthetics? Take a look at number 6, paragraph 6, the conclusion. Today, many of our clothes are created from man-made fibers or synthetics. They're more or less the same thing. What is the clue? Oh, guys. Come on. You can do it. Yes. Give yourself 5 minutes. So these, in fact, are the same thing. They are, what kind of word? Contextual clue? Synonyms. How do you know they're synonyms? Or. Okay? So I can call you a boy or Nevin. Your choice. So we can consider them more or less the same thing. Man-made fibers, natural fibers. Right? We can't consider these the same thing. Alright. So, before we actually try to get a definitive answer, number 3. How many groups and subgroups are there? What exactly were you looking for? You were looking for numbers? But I don't see any numbers. I don't see numbers. Counting. What are you counting? Groups. But how do you know it's a group? What exactly are you looking for? There are no numbers. It doesn't say groups here. What exactly are you looking for? Look at what we put on the board. What exactly are we looking for? There are no numbers. Yes, Eric?
The materials of the textile.
Okay. So here, when we're looking for how many and what are their names, okay, we're doing 3 and 4. We're actually just looking. We actually answer number 4 first. We're looking for names. Alright, so we're looking for names. And then number. How many? So in fact, you're actually just looking for names. You're looking for these. And then you're just counting them up. Finally, there are 2 question 4s. Alright. Which groups are provided with examples? Alright, Stephanie. We're looking. Now, of these things here, of these groups that we have, which of these have examples, subgroups, specifics? Alright, that's what we're looking for in number 4. Stephanie? Synthetics, or, what's the other word we can use? By. Okay. So we got 1 here. Is that it? Is that the only group that has examples? Or subgroups? Is that the only one? Yes? Derek?
Natural fibers.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's a subgroup. There's 2 subgroups.
Oh, there. Hey. Hey. Give yourself a thing. Eric's on top of it. Eric says that this does not provide any examples because this is a big group that goes down, right, from, but they don't list any specific names. But here, man-made fibers, they do list specific names. What are the names? Yes, Dexter. Rayon. Nylon. Good, give yourself. So, again, it's a question of semantics. They're saying, yes, Eric. Oh. This is the British way of spelling it, this is the American way of spelling it. Okay? Just like center. Alright? You can spell center with an R-E. I can spell center with an E-R. Right? At least I think I can. I'll find out later. Alright, so Man-made fibers provides specific names. Natural fibers, no specific names. Okay? So I think that's about it. What examples are given? So 3, 4, and 5 are actually related to each other. You're hunting for names. 3, double, 4, and 5. Any questions? Anything at all? Anything? Okay. What we're going to do then, if you turn the page, is we're going to classify this according to a table. I know you guys are tired. I know this is kind of boring. Alright? But it's something that we have to do. And you're actually learning something pretty useful. We're going to construct a table from these examples. And we're going to fill it out on this page over here. Okay. So, what I want you guys to do is, we're going to fill out this table over here, this one. Turn the page again, we have another table. And I'm going to give you time to do this. So what exactly are we talking about here? Classification of what? What are we classifying? Textiles. So textiles belongs in which box? That was the first top box. We're talking about clothing or textiles, more or less the same. And now, what I want you guys to do is take the information that we have already discerned. Take the information from these two paragraphs, in fact. And let's see if we can start filling this out. Let's see if we can determine groups here, and subgroups as well with examples. Let's just see if we can do this. We already have a certain idea of how to do this. Can you guys do this, by the way? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just take 5 minutes. Yes. No. Yes. Yeah. Eric brings up a good point. There actually is an article to read. 5, listen. 4, hands free. 3, be still. You've been doing a great job so far. Ms. Tang's really impressed. 2, be quiet. 1. There is an article to read, but what I want you guys to do is just take the 2 paragraphs that we've read, the introduction and conclusion, and based on this, then we generate something. Then we read the entire article, then we revise. Alright, so let's construct our first table, our first semantic map, based only on the first and last paragraphs. Can we do that? Let's just take a few minutes to do so. Okay guys, go ahead. Let's go. You guys have been doing a good job so far. You want to take a look at the first and last paragraphs, what we just have reviewed, and then let's just fill in some boxes. It doesn't have to look like the table in your on the worksheet. If you think that the chart looks different, then, well, you just do it. Yes. But what I wanted was that you construct part of it, and then you construct the rest of it. You know, we don't want to do the entire thing at once. We do one part, then we do another part. Maybe it's easier that way, just in chunks. But if you've finished everything, just complete everything. Let's see what's next. Yeah? Oh no. What's going on? Okay. Boys and girls, Mr. Wu's a little confused. 5, 4, 3, be still. 2, be quiet. 1. Now, you have one thing over here, and then you have text over here. But we have also read other texts. Now, what do you want to construct this map from? Do you want to construct it from all of them? Okay. So, do you want to take this text here? Do you want to take, oops, where are we? This text here, and then take the text behind it? All 3 of these. Can you map all of this? Who says yes? Okay, let's do it then. Let's map all 3. I'm going to need a visualizer. Please, if you run out of room, use your exercise book. If you can't map everything on your worksheet, then try something else. Use your exercise book. Your map does not have to look like this. It does not. This is just a suggestion. Okay? Just a suggestion. I'll be right back. Hi, Stephanie. You're finished. Oh, good. You've taken information from all 3 sources and mapped something. Good. Now, can one of you please set up the visualizer for me? Set that up. Was this easy? Yeah. It was a joke. Hold on. Actually, no. Can you set up the visualizer? Okay, who can set up the visualizer? Dexter, okay. Can you help us out? Set that up. Boys and girls, there are no model answers. Alright? There are just things that make more sense than others. You group things according to the way you see things. Alright, let's sometimes the way you see things doesn't make as much sense as the way another person sees things. Alright, so we're going to get a few of your suggestions and hopefully we can compile a group map. Yes? But maybe someone has done something differently. So we need to consider that as well. Alright, so Stephanie will share with us her map. And if you have any changes or alterations, I mean, just let us know. Alright? Derek, can we get the lights, please? Stephanie, come on up. Come up and share with us what you're doing. Oh, by the way, Derek, can you turn on the other air conditioner? I'm like, really, really hot up here. Are both air conditioners, all three on? I'm burning up. Oh, good. So when it's colder, maybe you guys will be able to pay more attention too. I know. Well, I think you want to sleep because it's hot. That's why.
No text. No more text.
All right. Listen. More hands straight. Straight. Be still. Two. Be quiet. One. Stephanie's going to share. She's going to share her group, her groups, and her subgroups, and her examples. If you see something that you have done differently, just raise your hand and stop us. This is not the model answer. There are no model answers. We can make changes if we can agree on them. Alright? Oh, hey, wow. Yeah. Let me move that just a bit. Oh wow, look at that. I wanna move it. Are you scared?
No.
No.
I have the camera here so that I want to shift the table and then show it.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Haha. Yeah, I think we can move it. Let me walk down this.
I love them. I can do it.
Okay. Gotta be careful.
Can you unplug
The
that
plug is
one?
not too long.
Is there a plug over there? No.
Is there a plug over there?
Is it falling?
Yeah.
Can I take it off? And
Yeah.
But we need to ask
Can I take it off? No.
I think the battery's charged.
I don't think so.
Huh? Okay,
You
can
know
we
how to use it.
just unplug it then?
Yes, can you help me? Thanks a lot. Can you help me? Can I take it off? Can I take this off?
Ready?
And then can I take this
5, listen. 4,
This is charged.
3, be still. 2, be quiet. That's you guys in the back too. 1. If, again, you see something different, well, just stop us. We can make changes. Stephanie, introduce the groups and the subgroups and the examples. So we have textiles at top on the top.
And then two groups, one group is natural, so
Okay.
the group of natural sources is animal, fibers,
Good.
and plants,
Yeah.
the group of animal fibers is
It will soon to highlight.
Whoa, here we go. Ready? This is a question of semantics. Boys and girls, is the name of the animal fiber sheep? Sheep. Is the name of the animal fiber silkworm? Is this sweater made out of sheep? What is it made out of then? Wool. Okay, so this is something that you have to be aware of. If you're saying sources, give me the names of the animals and the plants. If you're giving me fibers, give me the names of the fibers. So, if these are animal fibers here, what are the names of the fibers? Wool and silk. So, if we're talking about animal fibers, we're talking about wool and silk. But if we're talking about animal sources, like we're talking about sheep and silkworm. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, continue please. Linen and cotton. Yeah. Okay, so we have rayon and nylon. Does anyone have anything different? Anything at all? Any other suggestions? Hold on. Let's think about one thing, right? Because I actually had this suggestion during the 1W lesson. If you go to the, where is it? The last paragraph, the conclusion. Okay? Today, many of our clothes are created from man-made fibers or synthetics. Some examples of synthetics are rayon and nylon, etc. Nylon is produced. What you are wearing now is probably made from various combinations of 2 or more different fibers, either natural or synthetic. What is a third category that we can include? Yes. So textiles, I think, textiles can include natural sources. That is, your clothing. Clothing can be made exclusively from natural sources, cotton. Your clothing can be made exclusively of man-made fibers like rayon or nylon or polyester, like the Nike Dry Fit, right? But what if it's both? Okay, so potentially we can have a third group. And what would you call that third group? Michelle? Okay, so we would have natural sources, man-made sources, and what would we have in the middle? Oh, give yourself. So potentially, we can have natural sources, man-made sources, but then you have clothing made from both, combined sources. Right? So maybe you want to put a box here that is linked to natural sources and man-made sources, fibers. Like a horizontal box. Right? That's something that we can consider. Combined combination sources, combined sources. So potentially we can have combined sources there. Any questions? Anything at all? No? Okay. Good. Time. So you guys have 10 minutes. Great. Boys and girls. That's right. Turn back to page 3. That is task 2B, where we see the classification table. That is right after the introductory and the conclusion paragraph. this group over here. Let's take a look at the bottom, point 3. Excuse me. This is more information on the power and the reasons for having topic sentences and for having, well, a last sentence in paragraphs. So, we're learning about the importance of including certain types of information in introductory paragraphs and in the last paragraph. Now, this information is about the power. What should we do with the first sentence, the topic sentence of each paragraph, and the last sentence as well? That is it. Okay. Let's turn the page. Subskill 2. Now, what you guys were doing, in order to get these things here, you were looking for names, specific names. But sometimes it's easier to find these names when you have things like, for example, right? Contextual clues, remember that? I'm providing you an example, for example. So you know that you're dealing with specific names. But in the introduction and in the conclusion, there was no for example. So sometimes you just have to look for names. Okay, I think that's about it. Any questions? No? Do you want to do homework?
No.
Which project?
Geography.
What do you have to do for your geography project?
Oh,
yes, good. Yeah. Because actually, if you turn the page and you keep going to the next one, after the text, alright, there's another page where you have to start classifying maps. Do you see this? That's fantastic. This one will be very, very happy. Yeah, geography and English. What do you want to do, boys and girls? Because nothing. You have to do something. Alright? Okay. This is what I want you to do then. I want you to read this. Alright? I know you've done a great job so far. Everyone's really happy. Because you have a geography project tomorrow, this will help you. This will help next week. Huh? But you still have like, you've already learned about classifying maps. You have? But boys and girls, tomorrow. Really? Can I see it? Did you actually draw these tables, these semantic maps for geography? Okay. Alright, fine. We don't have to do this then. We'll just move on tomorrow. On to Unit 2. Right. Yes? But what is this project about? This is a map.
To draw the area.
I'm confused.
There are level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is drawn and areas of your house.
Okay.
Level 2 is draw CBD.
So you have to draw things. Are you guys done with that? quiz on this. Maps will not be included. We're just going to go over textiles, the rubbish, the Hong Kong people, and the science apparatus. I guess can you work on your geography project right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you can you?
No.
No?
No.
You cannot? Let's do something then. Boys and girls, we're about to do something. 5, listen. 4, 3, be still. 2, be quiet. 1. Even you, Eric. I've never done this with you guys. I used to do it a lot last year when we had time to play this game. I need 2 people up to the board. Let's do Natalie first. Let's do Dexter. Dexter to the board. Grab a piece of chalk. Now, spelling words, answering questions, things like that. Now, hold on. The winner gets a tick, and the winner stays on. But I want to punish the loser. What we used to do is the winner would stay on, accumulates extra credit. The loser does 5 push-ups. Is that okay?
Okay.
You're not upside down. That's where you push it. Alright. Let's do this. First time this year. Just 5 times. Alright, ready? Let's do this quickly, as soon as possible. We'll get through people. What you have to do is write the word down, write the answer down, move so I see it. First person that I see wins. Give me an example of a man-made fiber. Give me an example of a man-made fiber. Good. Give yourself a pat. Next. We're going up the row. Does anyone else want to go? Okay, Stephanie, you're next. Timothy, then you're next. Give me an example of a natural fiber. Give me an example of a natural. Good. 5 push-ups. Timothy, you're next. Push-ups, please. Timothy, go. Alright. Excuse me, let's continue. Alright. So, we had 9 of them. 5, listen. I know you're excited. This is kind of crazy. 3. Be still. Now 1. So we had nylon as an example of a man-made fiber. We had wool as an example of a natural fiber. Give me an example of an animal source. Give me animal source. You guys are confused. Give me animal source. Good. Rubbish now. We're talking about rubbish. So, which recycle bin, or which waste bin would you put, which waste bin would you put an aluminum can? Which waste bin? Good. Aaron, 5 push-ups.
Yes.
Kate, you're next. We can put aluminum cans in metal recycle bins. Where can we put a mobile phone? Okay, 5 push-ups. Other ways. Right? John, you're next. Last one. All right. Anyone else? Kibble. Last one. Roll the marbles. All right, ready? I'm going to give you a specific example. You give me a group that you can put the example in. We're talking about, yes, just one group. Give me the name of a group, all right? So we're talking about science apparatus. What kind of group can you put a test tube in? Give me the name of a group. Stick light. Good. Give yourself a tip. 5 push-ups, Stephanie. That last question was this. All you have to do is give me a group. Remember we did this last time? Science apparatus. Group it by shape. Stick light. Test tube. Alright, so maybe we'll do this again tomorrow. You might see something like this tomorrow. Just like it. Yes, sir.